Alright, welcome to episode 0 of my dev vlog. This is something new that I'm going to be doing, so it'll be much as new for me as it will be for you. And I know you guys haven't heard my voice in a while. Not really doing any podcasts at the moment, but I will be doing this. So let's get started with this. So, what is a game dev vlog? Well, for starters, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a video game from scratch completely. And then I'm going to showcase step by step with videos on how to do that. Or show what I'm going to do with it. This necessarily isn't a tutorial. It's much more so something to keep me motivated, to keep me moving with game development. Because I've been finding it hard to stay focused on one thing because I got so many different ideas and I got so much I want to do, but I'm just bouncing back and forth between projects and different ideas. So this, I feel, is going to keep me focused. It's going to keep me centered and grounded, and hopefully by the end of this, great things are going to happen. So what will I do with this? Well, one of the goals I had as being a game dev, or like an independent game dev. I don't work for any company or anything. I'm just doing this on my own free will because I have an interest in video games. I can do art, and now I can do Unity. So with all that, it means I'm a game dev. No, not really. I'm like a novice game dev. I just started doing this full time now in my spare time. I've been into game dev for years, like getting into the theory crafting behind what is game dev, like with the philosophies in game dev and stuff like that. But haven't really, other than just programming and doing like little mud type text-based games, I haven't really gotten into doing any serious game development type stuff with Unity lately. I mean, I've done years ago with Unity, like 1, 2, and 3 when it first came out and it was beta, but it wasn't as clear and crisp as Unity is now. And it's so easy to use. I feel like now is the time that I should be getting into this and just start my hobbyist career with my indie game dev stuff going. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this. And the end result is I want to try and get a free game. This is going to be, since this is going to be my first full-fledged finished game, I'm going to give it away free, and I'm going to put it on Steam, or at least try to get it on Steam. So that's going to be one of my goals, one of my end goals. Because if you look at Steam, there are some really horrible free games out there. So I don't think I could do any worse than that. And I'm going to try with this series, and you're going to see how I develop that throughout the vlog series. So that's going to be interesting to see. So let's get right to it. Explain what the vlog series will be about. Okay, I guess I pretty much kind of just did that. But like I said, I cannot convince myself on what game I should do. So I kind of came up with this little thing on how to force myself into a game, and kind of like a game challenge. So I will be randomly picking a game type out of a list. And let me pull that up real quick here. So I went to random.org. I just entered a list of random game types. So we have Mega Man clone, a Metroid clone, Castlevania clone, a Super Mario clone, a Zelda clone, a South Park Stick of Truth clone, because that game is just pretty awesome. Then I have just a random platformer, a random side-scroller, a random top-down, a random real-time strategy game, and then, this is interesting, a game based around a single room. No big map, no huge tiles, just one room. Challenge myself to try and put something in one room and make it a game. Now you ask yourself, like, that would be kind of dumb and boring, but realistically speaking, if you look on all the indie game sites, a lot of the Flash games and a lot of stuff that's kind of like a theme right now is based around a single room. You just don't realize it because you're immersed in the gameplay and you're immersed in what's going on. But yeah, so that'll be interesting if that type ends up coming up. And then there's like a simulator type where it's kind of like Calville, no, not Calville, Farmville. See, I never played that game because I didn't want to get sucked into it, so I don't really know the name of the damn thing. Farmville, and then yeah, kind of like SimCity types of games and whatnot. So how this works is you put this list in, enter list items, and then part 2 you go. So when I click on randomize, it's going to randomize the list, and whatever the number 1 option is, that's what I'm going to choose for the game type. So let's randomize this and let's go. Oh, okay. So we are doing a South Park Stick of Truth clone. Holy shit. Okay. So now that we're doing that, let's go ahead and write this down. Okay, that makes art a lot easy. So let's save that. Let's go back. All right, let's delete this list. Now, so is my character going to be a hero or a villain? And go. Oh. So the main story guy is going to be a villain. Okay. So, not there. So far, the game is going to be, it's going to look like and play like South Park: The Stick of Truth, and the main character is going to be a villain. Okay. So, let's do this. Since it's kind of like RPG-ish, let's say 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4 person. Because basically, if I remember correctly from the game, you get multiple people to have. So I'm not probably going to have a lot of time to do artwork for like 50 characters and kind of like, so I'm going to randomly choose how many characters that I'm going to do, or villains I should say, because we're doing villains. So let's randomize this and go. 3 persons. So it's going to be, somehow we're going to try and fit 3 people. All right, 3 villain story. Okay, so let's go back. So what are my villains? Are they humanoids, animals, dead things, supernatural beings? All right, so is there anything else that I want to, oh, robots. So are my villains going to be humanoids, animals, dead things like zombies, vampires, mummies, that kind of thing, or supernatural beings, or robots? And let's see this. Let's go. Dead things. Okay. So, okay, so that makes it, the villain thing kind of easy. So our villains are going to be dead things. Okay, so let's make this a little more easier. So mummies, vampires, zombies, dead things. There's got to be some other. You know what? Do I want to limit it to mummies, vampires, and zombies for my villains? Okay, let's say dead animals too, because we're gonna put some dead animals on there. Mummies, vampires, zombies, and animals. So animals would include like bats, dogs, zombie stuff, or whatever. And let's animals. Okay, so our villain, our 3 villain dead things are going to be animals. This is going to be awesome. And if I can spell it right, animals. Okay, so that is basically, all right, let's go ahead and get rid of this. So, show what game I'm making, randomly picked. The game is going to be a clone of South Park: The Stick of Truth. We're going to be villains instead of heroes. There's going to be 3 of them. Some way there's going to be 3 of them. They're going to be dead animals. Oh god, this is going to be interesting. I could have never came up with this on my own. I don't know. This is like a really awesome way of doing this because this is actually entertaining, and this is going to be challenging in the same. So now that you have that, now that you know what kind of game I'm going to be making, let's show you what kind of tools I'll be using in this Vlog series. So let's go back here to my browser and go to here. This is Trello.com. It's basically disconnected, blah blah blah. Okay, reload. Okay, so this is a task manager system. So basically, like here we have a to-do, problems, art stuff, polish, and finished. So to do, what we have to do is create 3 characters. Okay. Then we have to create the point of the game. Okay, and then create the enemies or heroes because basically we are the villains, so I mean they're going to be heroes. Our enemies are going to be heroes. So here we're going to have draw 3 animal villains. Draw, I don't know how many. Let's just say we're going to have 5 types of heroes. Draw 1 boss. Okay, so this is going to be draw 3 animals and villains, draw 5 types of heroes, draw 1 boss. Create 3 characters, create the point of the game. Like, basically the point of the game is like a 3 craft of, here we start, we got 3 villains, or are we going to start with 1 villain, or are we going to start with all 3 of them at the same time? Are we going to start with 2 of them at the same time? How's that going to work? That's the part where I'm probably going to get into next episode, or actually episode 1, because this is episode 0 where I'm going through and explaining everything. But so that pretty much gives you kind of an idea with this. So let's go ahead and minimize this. And one of my awesome tools that I love using is GIMP. So GIMP basically is the free version of Photoshop. So like, you go to new, you got your image, and then you just like okay, there we go. And this will probably be where I'll be doing a lot of my character sketching, like figuring out what the characters are going to look like, doing some kind of like art theory craft, if you want to call it that. So, and then here we have our next program I'm going to be using. It's, if it comes up, there we go. Inkscape. Inkscape is one of the most awesome programs I have ever used before, because it has all these awesome tools. Like, there you go, there's a circle. I want it blue, now it's blue. I want the stroke of it to be black. Oh, hold on. Click on it. Gotta hold shift, black, fill, white. So there you go. Now I have a circle with a black border and white center. It's just easy as that. I mean, stuff like that isn't so easy to do in GIMP, especially for like shaping it, double click. Now we're rotating it. So this is going to be very easy for finalizing our artwork and stuff, because this is more vector-ish, so it scales better. Like if I need to like blow it up or blow it down or shrink it or do some stuff with it, it's not going to get as pixelated as regular rasterized images would be. So there's that. And here's another program. This program is called Spriter. Basically what I'll be doing with this is I'll be bringing characters into it and doing some animations and stuff on it. So you'll see more about that later. And last but not least, Unity. Let's go ahead and just open this up here. This is like I was playing around with this earlier, doing some crap, trying to figure some stuff out. But as you can see, it's taking a bit to load and open up. There you go. This is Unity. So basically, this is basically what allows me to play your game stuff. Like, this is just real basic, simple. Like, there's some artwork in there. There's a character. It doesn't really do any animations yet because I haven't put anything on it. This is just like a basic concept art style that I'm probably going to be going with my basic game here. So there you go. So you can do that. And yeah, you'll be seeing a whole lot of Unity later because this is what I'll be using to actually make the game. So it's good stuff. Alright, so what else am I going to be using? Well, I might probably be using Audacity for editing audio. Like say, here you go, meow, 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 meow. See, there you go. Now you got some audio in there. And then if you go back and play it around, go, meow, 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 meow. See, there you go. Then you can do some stuff like chop it up, and do all kinds of great things to it. Where is it? Edit, cut, edit, undo, like there, edit, remove special, split cut. No, I don't know, it's not working right, whatever. But anyway, there's tons of things you could do this, and it's awesome for audio editing, shaping, moving, stuff like that. Make it louder, quieter, whatever. Good stuff. LMMS. This is basically a all you want, basically music software. Let's just hit OK. That's okay. I have not really played with this too much, but you can do so much creations, music creations and stuff like that. But yeah, I might not use this for this particular vlog because I still need to go through and figure out this actual tool and whatnot. So yeah, we'll leave that for later. And then of course I'm going to be using Open Broadcaster, as you can see here. Ooh, infinite paradigm. Ooh, my god. Okay, I'll minimize that. So yeah, that's basically some of the tools that I'll be using. And I'm going to be doing all my art with GIMP and Inkscape. I'm going to be doing my character animations with Spriter, and then I'm going to take all that and then dump it right into Unity and doing all my programming with Unity. And I guess I could show you player. This will be my scripting editor, MonoDevelop. I figure I'm going to go with MonoDevelop because it just feels a lot cleaner than Visual Studio, and I've been having some buggy problems with Visual Studio running on Windows 10. I know, kind of funny, right? But I don't know. So yeah, it takes forever to load. I don't know why. We'll be able to see some code snippets here in a second once this goes over. There you go. So yeah, this is just some example of the code that makes the character move. Not that hard. It's pretty easy. But yeah, so now you've seen what tools I'll be using for the series. You know what game I'll be making for this series. You know what the Vlog series is about. And yeah, so we'll see you on episode 1. All right, later.